My audience members are Caleb Blomfloor, Haley Hutchison, Reagan Wheeler, and Katie Vestal. Did you know that Japan has a population of 127.34 million residents? If you were to take America's population and divide it in half, Japan would still have a less population than America. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the difference of life in Japan and America, transportation differences from Japan and America, and also the ways Japan has inspired America. I'm very interested in Japan because I'm a quarter Japanese, and I just recently traveled there this past summer. I spent 2 weeks in Japan, and I went to many tourist locations and saw many different things. So today, the lifestyle in Japan. Put your shoes in the average American 16-year-old lifestyle, and you would wake up in the morning and you're just beginning your license. You could take off to school and drive yourself to school. But the difference is, in Japan, you don't get your license until you're 18 years old. So then, whenever you would wake up and either have to take a train, a bus, walk to school if it's nearby, or drive your parents' car or have them take you. In Japan, not only is the driving age different, but also the curriculum. In America, our curriculum is set by our federal government, and then each state it is sent off to each state the broad curriculum that we need to teach, and each state decides from there which lessons should be taught and which books should be ordered. But in Japan, the Japanese Ministry of Education decides the education system and which curriculum should be taught and which books and lessons should be taught each year. There's another difference in Japan compared to Japan and America, not only the transportation, but is also, or not only the education, but is also the transportation. In Japan, you either travel there by train, bus, car, or you can walk or ride a bike. Whenever I visited Japan, I walked at least 5 miles every day, and I took a train at least every day. You take trains everywhere you go to get to all your locations. Depending on whichever route you take, it depends on how many trains you have to take. Whenever you're in Japan, you get a peso card which you can use to board the trains. It's almost like a credit card, and you add money to it anytime, and you can swipe it every time you board the train. You can also buy just a one-way pass to the train and get one ticket, and that can pass. When you go onto the train, you would swipe your card and walk through the gates and then wait to board your train. You'd be waiting for approximately 5 to 10 minutes to board your train. Also, another thing you can do in Japan is walk. It's normal for the average Japanese citizen to walk in Japan, but the difference is that if you're just standing in line, say you're standing in line to get on an escalator, you would stand on the left side of the escalator, and if you were wanting to walk up the escalator because you were in a rush, you'd go to the right side and walk up. Same for anywhere. Down the street, you'd stand on the left side to walk, and if you were wanting to go faster, you'd stand on the right side. Anywhere you go, it's like that, so you have to make sure whenever you get there that you're aware of where to stand. Another difference in Japan is the trains there. There's one train in Japan, it's called the Shanghai Maglev. It is one of the fastest trains in the world. It travels up to 150 to 200 miles per hour. The Shanghai train also has a name that people refer to, and it's called the Bullet. I never once got to ride on the Bullet, but I witnessed it while I was standing in the line for the train that I was trying to board, and it was unbelievable how fast it went by. Whenever you're on the train, depending on when you go, you can either board the train during rush hour, which you don't want to do because there's very small room of sitting space, and so whenever you're sitting, you have a good spot and you can play on your phone and sleep. But when not, you have to stand up, and the train is a bumpy ride, and they hit the brakes pretty quick, so you have to hold on to a handlebar to make sure you don't fly around. So now we see how the Japanese lifestyle is different and how transportation is different in America. So now we're going to see about how Japan has inspired America throughout the years. Japanese inventor Takesha Tanento from Okayama, Japan. He worked in a clothing factory whenever he was younger, and it really inspired him to create different clothes for himself. He invented denim. It is said to be the best denim now, and it's the most stable denim now. Whenever he was working in his factory, he would gain the skills and techniques he needed to know, and he put them both together and tried to gain his own invention. He now is one of the greatest inventors, and his denim is used throughout the world. Another thing that Japanese had invented is karaoke. Karaoke is originated from the word kara, which means empty, and oki, which is a smaller version of orchestra, and together they put together and make karaoke. It is used throughout today's history at all times, at parties, on cruise ships, anywhere you go, it's more likely to have karaoke for a fun-filled family event. Today we have discussed the differences in Japan and the culture differences and the lifestyles, and I hope now that you have a greater knowledge of Japan and that it can help you throughout life. Now you understand the difference in the trains and how our transportation is different from here in Japan. Many people don't understand the differences, but now that you do, I hope they're in great knowledge of you. Thank you. My audience members are Caleb Limecooler, Haley Hutchison, Reagan Wheeler, and Katie Vestal.